Have you ever looked at the person you built your entire life with and realized you don't actually know them at all? In one fateful night, Ethan transitioned from a 10-year marriage to facing a complete stranger. What he did next was not loud or messy, but it shattered the perceptions of those who thought they knew the truth. Ethan Miller was steady, remembered birthdays, paid bills early, and held hands in public even after a decade with Claire. They met at a mutual friend's barbecue, where her laughter at his bad joke felt like someone turned the volume up on life. They took their time building a relationship, moving from a tiny apartment to their dream house with grand plans for the yard. Their marriage, from the outside, looked perfect. No scandals, no excessive arguments. Their disagreements were trivial, such as forgetting groceries or chores left undone. Ethan worked in project management, while Claire thrived in marketing, discussing campaigns and opportunities. On weekends, they indulged in simple joys, brunches, grocery runs, and movie nights, where Ethan would often fall asleep halfway through. Their friends looked up to them, believing that if Ethan and Claire could make marriage work, there was hope for others. Ethan felt lucky. Claire was his teammate, his confidant, the one he turned to when life got tough. But then, things began to shift, not dramatically but subtly enough for Ethan's intuition to recognize. Claire started working late, attending more client events, returning home with the scent of expensive wine and smoke. Ethan trusted her, believing 10 years together meant something. Yet his gut told him something was amiss. Mysterious charges appeared on their joint credit card, networking lunches at distant hotels surfaced, and a second phone emerged, supposedly for work. When asked, Claire's reassurances felt like they were shoring up the walls of denial. But the real betrayal began not with a message or a lipstick on a collar, but with money. Ethan managed their finances and had set up automatic savings for their future dreams of kids. One morning, when he checked their account, he was horrified to discover only $47. He dug into the transaction history and found multiple unauthorized transfers to an account bearing Claire's maiden name, C. Morrison. Panic set in as Ethan realized over 6 months, $90,000 had vanished. Claire returned home late that evening, echoing the same worn excuse about a client dinner. Not yet ready to confront her, Ethan began investigating. He uncovered a hidden life, a second phone dedicated not to clients, but to a man named David, a senior VP at Claire's firm. The affair was deep and expansive, with photos from a supposed leadership retreat in Greece and details of a marketing consultancy Claire had started, funding it all with Ethan's money. 10 years of loyalty and trust had been manipulated. The betrayal extended beyond emotions. It was financial, professional, and meticulously planned. Late one night, surrounded by incriminating documentation, Ethan felt a strange clarity replace the initial shock. 3 days later, as Claire prepared for another meeting, Ethan made a call to his brother Mike, a corporate attorney. Presenting his findings, Mike offered guidance. Confront her now for half, or wait and be smart. Ethan chose the latter, becoming a ghost in his own life while building an airtight case. He hired a forensic accountant, documented every transaction, and recorded conversations where Claire lied. Instead of divorce, he filed a civil lawsuit against Claire and David for fraudulent transfers and breach of fiduciary duty. He froze their bank accounts and initiated a legal hold on Claire's business. When Claire returned home confused about her frozen account, Ethan revealed the envelope containing all evidence, the lawsuit, the photos, the details of the affair. Faced with the reality, she attempted to negotiate, pleading for reconciliation, but Ethan reminded her of the gravity of her actions. The next day, she signed the papers. The divorce, finalized 30 days later, left Ethan with the house and assets, while Claire walked away, with nothing but the remnants of her choices. David suffered too. His wife left him, and he was pushed out of his job. Ethan chose not to celebrate, opting instead to embrace a new chapter in his life, moving to a smaller home, starting therapy, and pursuing new activities. 6 months later, a chance encounter with Claire at a coffee shop revealed her worn and older appearance. But he opted to walk away, realizing he didn't seek revenge. He had simply found peace. The story illustrates that the best response to betrayal isn't noise or chaos. It's a quiet resilience that prioritizes self-preservation. Sometimes, winning simply means ensuring you stand strong, regardless of the storms around you. If you've been deceived, share your experiences. Did you confront immediately, or did you wait and strategize? The quiet path often leads to genuine victory, so if you want more stories about betrayal and justice, subscribe and stay tuned for what comes next.